Hey everybody, it's Valentine. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here today, tonight, whatever time it might be. I wanted to take this time today to talk about a moment that I kind of focused on all the way back in July, actually, before I even started YouTube. But when I did start YouTube, I wanted to make a video about this one little moment that just my mind has been playing back every so often since I've seen it. And I'm referring to a moment in the Joe Rogan podcast where he had Burr on the show. I'm sure we're all familiar with the guy riding his bike through the park, rolling up on a little girl putting up posters about the protests going on and George Floyd. I don't remember exactly what she was putting up, but we all know I had to do something with that. And him getting enraged and just acting like a little bitch, and that situation happened the way it happened. So, in me watching Rogan and Burr talk about this, they bring up the story, right? And Bill Burr's talking about it, Rogan is talking about it, and then you see Rogan kind of like start snapping into like this dark zone where they're talking, and Rogan's like, "Can you imagine if you were there? You imagine if that was your daughter?" I'm gonna make sure I link in Joe Rogan's video so you know the exact clip that I'm talking about. I believe it's around the 45-minute mark, but I'll be sure to link it in that little eye icon wherever it might be, so you guys can watch that. So you can watch this and understand what I'm talking about. His response to that was comedic. You know, he was trying to add a little relief to the conversation where he's like, "Yeah, man, your thought process behind it, which should be, what weapon do I want to use? Jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, or Muay Thai, whatever." You can tell Burr was trying to add, just some light into the situation, lighten the situation, the conversation, and Rogan keeps like going along with the story, but then keeps going back to the, "But you know what I would do to this guy?" Like just getting dark with it. And I remember watching Joe, listening to it, and I'm just like, "Yep, what are you gonna do, Joe? Because I know what I would do. I know what I would do to this motherfucker if I seen that shit happen. What would you do, Joe? What would you do?" Because I feel like me and Joe are kind of similar in the sense of being protectors. Like, I protect my family. I was raised by a single mother. I was the oldest boy, so you already know my job there. And especially I grew up in New York around just a bunch of fucking savages in the street, always getting catcalled with my older sister and shit like that. From the go, I was just ready to attack everybody. If I was to see that situation happen, come on, man, I don't even want to go there. See, this is what I'm talking about. So I'm listening to Joe, and Joe's just trying to get into that dark spot, and he's trying to get Bill to engage him in that dark spot. Like, "Yo, you know what I'll do to him?" And Joe's like, "Yeah, Joe. So I would like to speak to the guy and understand what would make him so mad, and like just trying to get Joe away from there." And Joe's again like, "You know what I'll do to him?" And I'm like watching Bird like trying to like navigate his way through and around Joe, trying to instigate that what I'll do to him. In my head, the whole time I'm telling Bird, "Yo, shut the fuck up with the comedic shit. Let's hear that dark shit. Let's hear what Rogan would do." You know how we always save a story to tell to one of our friend or our mom or somebody, like, "Yo, bro, the situation happened downtown the other day, man. If you was there, shit would have been crazy." Or like, "Yo, mom, I was at the grocery store and I went to grab gum, and the lady in front of me snatched it out my hand. Yo, you should have been there." My mom was like, "Well, if I was there," just antagonizing me with that story, getting me hyped. Like, "Yeah, man, if my mom was there, man, that old lady would have been," you know what I'm saying? So just something like that. So that was me with Rogan. I'm listening to Rogan. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. So with Bill trying to do the comedic stuff and cut Rogan off, and not cut Rogan off, but like not allow Rogan to go there, I'm like, "Bill, shut up with the comedic shit, man. Just help him. I want to hear what Rogan has to say about what he's gonna do." And then for the last time says, "You know what I'll do to that guy?" And Burr's like, "Joe, come back. Like, you just went to a dark place. That wasn't you. That wasn't your daughter. You wasn't there. It happened. It's done. It's getting dealt with. Come back." And Joe was like, "Oh shit." And me too. Me watching the video, watching the podcast, I'm like, "Oh shit. Damn, Burr, you're a fucking good friend." Because like I was going to that dark place too. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was just tunnel vision when Joe was talking. Like, yes, I want to know. And then Burr cuts in like a good friend, like tells you, "Yo, cut the bullshit. That's enough. You had too much to drink." Or, "Yo, cut the bullshit. That happened." Like that takes energy. You know what I'm saying? That moment right there is you're giving energy out into the world. It's taking energy away from your soul. You're going to go to sleep that night a little more tired because you expended energy. Do you want to put energy into that? To that negativity? You know what I'm saying? It's okay to talk about it. But when you dive into it where you're sitting there like, "Man, I'm gonna fucking, if I see that shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna walk around the park now to see if I see that." You don't want to take it there. You just exhausting yourself. So Burr being a good friend and stopping Rogan and just cutting Rogan out and being like, yo, bro, you wasn't there. Relax. You went to a dark place. And Rogan's like, yo, fuck, my bad. I go to a dark place often. And Rogan cut in with a comedy, and like they were able to lighten the conversation and have a cool dialogue again. I like to have people like that around me where they're just like, yo, Matt, cut the bullshit. You good? Let's go. You're not dead, right? Nothing happened. You're okay. Whatever the fuck. Like, just be straight up. Yeah, let me know if I'm fucking up. Let me know if I'm like going off the beaten path or where I should be or where I shouldn't be, and help me out. That was a cool thing from Burr to do, and it was always just ringing in my head since July, since I seen it. I just thought that was a cool little moment, especially since I was just like, what would you do? What would you do? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because man, I would have just died. You know what I'm saying? And Burr's like, yo, again, I'm just reiterating the same points over and over again. There's a small little moment that you guys should watch. The whole podcast is pretty cool, but that small little moment, if you listen to what I'm saying and then watch the podcast, you can see exactly what I'm saying transpire. Cool little nuances to watch as you watch that little clip, I guess, that I picked up on. So that's my little moment of the day. I'm not gonna call this anything specific. I'm not gonna try to make this a thing, but that was my little moment that I picked on from the Rogan podcast with Bill Burr. Be sure to check out his podcast if you don't. I mean, I think pretty much everyone checks into a Rogan podcast every now and then. But I'm getting out of here. If you liked the video today, subscribe, like, dislike. If you dislike the video, that's fine too. Hit the bell notification, and I catch you guys on the flip side. Valentine out. Later.